Okay, so stop everything. I've stopped everything because there are new images, our first images, in fact, for the upcoming Frozen short, Frozen Fever, which actually debuts very soon, next month at this point, in front of Disney's live action Cinderella. And as many are saying, there might be more people coming out to see this short than the Cinderella film. But when they stick around, hopefully we'll all be pleasantly surprised. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive into these images because even as someone who didn't like Frozen, I kind of like what I'm seeing here. And at least we're seeing a lot. There's a lot revealed here. It makes you wonder what's left for a short film. So this first image, I think really builds beautifully off of the sister relationship, which is of course the core of Frozen and one of the reasons it's so popular. But let's not kid ourselves. One of the other reasons Frozen is so popular is because Elsa has superpowers. But here, they seem to be evolving. Is she experiencing a secondary mutation? I'm not quite sure how she's able to move these flowers from, obviously, this bouquet behind her onto her dress. I'm also glad she changed clothes. I thought, is Elsa going to be stuck wearing this dress for the rest of her life? For the episodes I saw in Once Upon a Time, she was. And she seems in the other images you're going to see here, she's still wearing her famous traditional dress. Like most Disney princesses, they rarely change clothes because they have an image to maintain. But this is interesting. This is like a spring type look. And would her powers really evolve maybe to represent the different seasons? That would be super cool, but kind of off point, right? I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, this is based on the story of the Snow Queen, but they're so far from that at this point. I guess they can go in any direction they want. But I think it's an interesting look. I like the use of the powers. At the very least, I guess she's using gusts of snow to move the flowers, but then she would kill them? I don't know. It's a beautiful image. I think that it looks like a great room. Who wouldn't want to be in that room? And I think this plays off the strengths of Frozen. Things that even I, as again, someone who didn't like the movie, really do admire about it. And it's a pink bedroom. Who's not into that? Also, on a side note, it was revealed what the story of the short's going to be. And they're not only celebrating Anna's birthday, but apparently Elsa has a cold. And when Elsa has a cold, it's different than other people. Maybe that's how when she has a cold it actually mimics warm weather aspects. Perhaps that's what it is. It's the inverse of a cold for everybody else. We'll see. I think that's a pretty clever idea. And I like not only focusing on their relationship, but also focusing on Elsa's power set, which I think enchants everyone. All right, so that's the first image. I also like more world building, seeing more rooms in the castle. Then this next image, I actually don't like this next image at all because I think it just totally builds off of, I think, a lot of people's favorite moments from the movie, and that's when Anna wakes up and she's got total bedhead, and she's drooling in the movie and everything. And I think this is just a callback to that. And I don't want to see a short of just callbacks to favorite moments in the original Frozen movie. I want to see new stuff, especially again because I didn't like the original stuff. So I've been enjoying the Frozen fandom. I've been enjoying all the events at Disney World and Disneyland. Been to both with their Frozen events, and I had a really good time at both places. So I want to kind of jump on the Frozen bandwagon. I have a toe in the Frozen pool. So this I don't like. And as you can see, she's back in her dress, and it's the same room. So I guess this is Anna's room, and I'm sure some of you diehard Frozen fans are like, how did you not know that from the first photo? But it's again their relationship. It's nice, but this photo isn't much to be excited about. But this one is. I like this one. I just think, again, it's something new. It's something different. It's a party for Anna, obviously being set up in the courtyard of their castle. You can notice in the background, they've kept the ice detail work that is in the end of the film. So that's interesting that, she decided to maintain that, kind of meld their two castles together. I'm curious to how you guys feel. Do you want to see Elsa and Anna live at their castle that they originally had with their parents? And Elsa's castle either melts or is like their winter home, like their home away from home? Or do you think Elsa should live in her ice palace? I think that some of the concept art that we saw for her ice palace was really spectacular. Ice furniture and all these different elements she totally created herself. She's a pretty good architect. And designer. So I would like to maybe see more of that, and maybe Elsa's room is like kind of a hybrid of that, but it's interesting to see here. I also am wondering who wrote Happy Birthday. My guess is Olaf or Sven, right? I would think Kristoff would have a little better handwriting than that. So that looks like a lot of fun. And the summer motif, I guess, represents Anna. You know, she has winter and spring, I guess. You could say the two sisters that way. Some people want to see Anna get fire powers because of her red hair, but I'm sorry, looks like she has flower power based on the decorations here. And that leads us to our next one with Olaf, big, huge fan favorite, and he's eating the cake. It looks like chocolate cake with vanilla frosting, my personal favorite, so I don't blame Olaf for not being able to resist it. And again, it carries over the flower motif, but it has the blue frozen kind of background to it. So it's a cake that represents both sisters. And so maybe we'll see the sunflower adopted for a more for Anna's motif. And I'm curious if anyone's familiar with Norway and etc. and that region. Are sunflowers popular there? I would think it would be Edelweiss or something. I wouldn't really think that the sunflower is what I would want to represent Anna. But I'm wondering for Anna fans, how do you feel about that? Putting the two together. And then there's this final photo, which I think is really cute. I like it, but I think it speaks to a problem that I've seen a lot of fan art address. And that's that, you know, Anna has Kristoff, but what the heck is Elsa going to do? And it kind of creates like a third wheel problem for them. I mean, I guess what's her date on this double date is Olaf, right? That's kind of just her creation that she made. And also she's dressed up. Everybody else is in casual wear. I really like Anna's casual dress. We saw this outfit at the end of Frozen. But Elsa, I wish you would manifest something that was like for daytime, you know, not for when you're having your big moment with your big song. Also, you can see that it doesn't really work on, you know, I also wonder if Sven has a frozen butt right now. I think that would be fun, but he seems to be okay with it. But it's a nice image, and it plays up the family aspects of the movie that's made it so popular. And I'm glad to see Kristoff here. I think a lot of people will also be glad to see him. I love Jonathan Groff. I want to see more great things for that character. But, you know, again, Elsa needs her own life. She can't just be an awkward third wheel. And I saw some pretty funny, inappropriate fan art about this, by the way. I'm sure some of you might have seen this as well. When you Google search for images about Frozen, it's hilarious what comes up. And some were some really funny interpretations of how Anna and Kristoff's relationship would move forward with Elsa always hanging around. It's like, go take a break, Elsa. Go find your own guy. And we'll see. Maybe perhaps in Frozen 2, which they are working very hard to get made, she will find someone for herself. And the question is, who do you want that to be? A guy, a girl? You know, she has a strong LGBT fan base. And maybe nobody at all. Maybe Elsa doesn't need a date. But if she doesn't have a date, she then needs something to do. If they're going to do these more casual date-like activities, you know, I don't know. She needs someone to hang out with. So we'll see. So that's my thoughts on these images. I think they're fun. I think they're great. I think it's impressive that Disney released so much about Frozen Fever. And I can't wait to see the short. And again, just next month. All right, so share your own thoughts down below. Thank you so much for tuning into my thoughts on this. And I can't wait to discuss them with you, these images with you down below. Bye.